this is Trisha, the left-handed stitcher. I'm here tonight to do a video that is a reveal of a special FFO. I have finished and FFO'd my Satindor house crest. And those of you who are looking at me like, what the heck are you talking about? I'll give you a little bit of background on it. Cross Stitch is Fun Facebook group is doing a long-term stitching event type thing. It started November 1st of this year and will run until December 31st of 2017. It's called the Stitch What's the School of Stitching, and we were sorted into 4 houses. I got Satindor, and one of our challenges was to stitch our house crest. They gave us the pattern and told us to get creative. So I got creative. And I had a lot of fun stitching this. So let me show you my FFO, and let me scoot back a little bit because I'm not going to be able to get it all in, so we're going to scroll with it. I finished it into this awesome banner. Check it out. I love this tassel. This turned out so awesome. I am absolutely thrilled. I love it. Alright, so now I'm gonna do a rundown and talk about everything that went into this. So I changed everything. I changed the pattern, I changed the colors, everything. First thing I did was I dyed my own fabric. This was a white base 32 count Lugana, and I dyed it using a low water immersion technique with the black grit dye diluted to, a gray consistency, and it turned out awesome. It's my first time dyeing with that method, and I was so happy with the results. Alright, so the next thing I did is I tried to do a variegated floss. I started with DMC 321, but the variegation attempt failed. But I did end up with a very gorgeous shade of red. It's close to DMC 304, but it's just more red. It's deeper, and it's so pretty. So I stitched the crest, the body of the crest, with my hand-dyed red. Then for the chevron, I did a 310 37.99 blend, and it turned out amazing. I don't know, hopefully you can see that. It looks like suede. It turned out so cool. So the next thing is I changed the border to Krennic. It is a number 4 braid in the color way 025. It's like a silver gray. So just a little bit of sparkle there. It looks awesome. The next thing I did was I stitched the scroll down at the bottom. I changed the font a little bit, and then I changed up the border quite extensively. So let me see if I can get up close and you can see it. Before I do that, I'll just kind of go into what went into this. I started with Weeks Dye Works Cattail, because I went into my stash of hand dyeds and found the one that said to me parchment, and that's the one that jumped at me. So I started with cattail for the base of the scroll, the parchment scroll, but the edge, the border, I wanted to create the look of the patina that you see on the edge of a lot of the old parchment paper. So let me hold this a little differently to show it to you. That edge, I blended DMC 543 with 3863 to get a nice variegated edge like that. And I also, instead of just a border around, I kind of let it leach up a little further in spots, because you know that's how patina is. It's, you know, kind of varied. And then I also created little divots out of the scroll, because parchment always has those little pieces that are missing off the edge. So I was nervous when I was stitching this, because I didn't know how it was going to turn out, and I'm so happy that how it turned out. The shaded area, because it's a scroll that loops back and around, I did a graduated color. So the darkest one is 3031, the medium grade shadow is 3862, and the lightest one is 3864. So you get graduated shading right there. But I was so, just how it turned out, I was blown away with how cool it looked when I was done. So then I looked at, you know, the crest in relation to the scroll. My red seemed really flat, and I kind of thought about it for a few days of what could I do. I don't want to pick it out and restitch it, because we don't, you know, there wasn't much time left. We have a deadline of December 31st, tomorrow, to get our submissions in, to get the points for our house. And what I decided to do is I used one of my Stampin' Up! Markers, because it's a water-based dye ink in those markers, and Rit dye is a water-based dye. So I took a chance. You might call it crazy, you might call it ingenious, I don't know. But I used the marker and I shaded in the edges to just give it a little bit of shadow, and then a little bit of variegation in the middle parts. So let me see it get up there. You can see it. And I was absolutely thrilled with how that turned out. Again, I was sweating bullets taking a marker to this piece, but I hadn't stitched the white part yet, so I was safe if it bled a little bit. But yeah, it worked. I was just so surprised how well it worked. So then the next thing I did was I stitched the griffin in B5200 1/1. That was a task and a half. It took me a while, but it turned out, it looks so nice. And then the border around the griffin is done in Mill Hill Magnifica in the color Jet. It's 10004. And they are gorgeous beads. Look at that shine that they have. And let me get up here and see if I can get a good, there you go. There you see it. Gorgeous. So sparkly. I was absolutely thrilled. And then when I went to finish it, I decided to do it in a banner shape. So this is what I came up with. And it turned out so well. I love it. Absolutely love it. So, there's my Satindor Crest banner. And like I said, I had so much fun stitching this and just trying out different things and finding unique ways of doing this. So it was a cool challenge. So I'm gonna sign off now. Before I do, shout out to my Satindor peeps. I can't wait to see what you guys have done with yours, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Happy stitching.